the mass of men lead lives in quiet desperation, right? And it got me thinking about the conversation I heard from Alain de Botton, which we talks about how that, unfortunately, we as a generation are better at being in relationships than being in friendships.
Okay.
So what happens now is that we have these situations whereby men equate their state of being alone with loneliness. And then what happens is that they approach relationships from a sense of desperation. There is an age by which I guess is probably about 12 to 13 years old where men stop receiving a level of intimacy and connection. Their mothers don't hug them as much, their dads don't put them on the knee as much, don't rub their head as much. They are removed from a certain level of intimacy and connection, and the only other time they see intimacy and connection comes from the opposite gender or sexual partner, right? And then they associate in their mind that the only way I can have a level of connection can only come from a romantic space. So we get so good at learning how to get into relationships and being in relationships, but not learning how to foster friendships and relationships that make sure that we have a certain level of love within ourselves, so that wherever woman comes by, they are just the surplus. People that are seeking that level of validation, right? They've been deceived into the idea that the only way they can receive a level of connection and intimacy and love, because not all love needs to be romantic, right? You know, we could be here friends here, we're talking now, there's a brotherly love here that makes you realize that there's a way that you treat me that makes you realize that I'm worth being valuable, like I'm worth being valued, I have an importance, I matter. So why would I let someone who comes by now treat me badly? And then what I'm doing is that I'm chasing their validation to try and sort of draw out a level of love from them, which they don't even want to give because they don't perceive me in a certain way. But you accept that because your mindset goes to, where else am I going to get this love from? Where else am I going to be told that I matter and I'm important and that I'm valuable and that I'm worth being treated correctly? You know? So we've gotten so good at being in a space where all we want to do is have the other person, because really and truly we're lacking a level of brotherhood and community and familial love. We're replacing that, and even in my presence as well, even God's love, that when God tells you that you're valuable, right? And then you're taking somebody else's broken version of love and then you're taking that as gospel. I think that's where a lot of men are struggling.
No, for sure. I think